to the Organized by Our book club. Here we are at Culver's, and I'm going to record this live no matter what anybody else thinks about it. The book we're talking about tonight is The One Thing by Gary Keller. The surprisingly simple truth behind extraordinary results. This is an amazing book because it tells you that you can determine the success that you achieve in your life. How can you do that? By learning to concentrate on the one thing. Have you noticed how the default for our lives seems to be set for distractions? We never quite accomplish the things that truly matter because we are constantly interrupted. We busy ourselves with never-ending to-do lists and activities that steal every hour of the day. We end up feeling overscheduled, overwhelmed, and exhausted. Not exactly the recipe for a purposeful and fulfilling life. Let me give you a few quotes from the book and encourage you to read it in the near future. The book is divided into 3 parts: the lies, the truths, and the amazing results. Keep in mind that the word priority originally meant a singular word. You can't really have 5 or 10 priorities. You can only have one, the one thing. And the one thing sits at the heart of success and is the starting point for achieving extraordinary results. Gary Keller has this sign hanging in his office: "Until my one thing is done, everything else is a distraction." Isn't that a great thought? And what if we utilize that thought every single day? Let me just read a few quotes that hopefully will pique your interest and encourage you to check out this gem of a book. In chapter 4, he says, "The things which are most important don't always scream the loudest." Isn't that true? We allow things that aren't important to monopolize our schedule and use up our energy. In chapter 6, he says, "Multitasking doesn't save time. It wastes time." How about that for a countercultural message? In chapter 6, he says, "Habits require much less energy and effort to maintain than they do to begin." So don't be surprised if it's hard to get started with a habit. Each time you repeat that habit, it will get easier and easier. Chapter 7 talks about willpower. And he reminds us that willpower has a limited battery life. It needs to be recharged, and you do that by having some downtime. In chapter 8, he mentions leaving some things undone is a necessary trade-off for extraordinary results. So sometimes you have to devote many hours to a certain project, and then the way you counterbalance that is you devote many hours to your home and family life. In chapter 9, he says, "Choose your box, choose your outcome." It's up to you to think big. Act bold. Don't be afraid of failure. After all, we probably learn more from failing than we do from succeeding. In chapter 10, he asks an important focusing question. What is the one thing I can do today that will make everything else easier or unnecessary? What is your one thing for your life? What is your one thing right now? Take time to think about that and make sure it is the priority for your time and your energy every single day. In chapter 11, he talks about how success is a habit. Success is simple. Do what's right, the right way, at the right time. Make it a habit. In chapter 12, he says, "People do not decide their futures. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their futures." How true is that? We need to remember the possibilities that can be in our life and make that a benchmark. In chapter 13, he talks about living with purpose, and he says, life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. So happiness happens on your way to fulfillment. Know what your big why is in your life. In chapter 14, he talks about living by priority. Future purpose connects to present priority. There can only be one thing. Goal set in the now and discover your big why. Give yourself permission to totally devote yourself to one very important goal. In chapter 15, he talks about productivity, and he says this: time blocking harnesses your energy and centers it on your most important work. It is productivity's greatest power tool. When you block your time, you turn off your phone, you turn off your email notifications, you do not allow interruptions to steal valuable time. Protect your best time block. Maybe it's from 9 to 12 in the morning. Maybe it's from 1 to 4. Maybe it's from 10 to 2. There's no special time. You need to determine what that is for you and protect it and use it. In chapter 16, he talks about 3 commitments. Mastery is a way of thinking, a way of acting, and a journey. Time on task will eventually beat talent every single time. So commit to be your best, be purposeful, and take ownership of your actions. There, in chapter 17, he talks about 4 time thieves. And he says, start saying no. Manage your energy, accept chaos, and take ownership of your environment. Mastery is a way of thinking. We think it's only a few special people who become experts and masters at what they do, but actually everybody has the potential to be a master if they're willing to devote the time. In chapter 18, he talks about the journey. To get through the hardest journey, we need to take only one step at a time, but we must keep on stepping. So you see, success is an inside job, and it all starts with you. I encourage you to go to your bookstore or library and check out the book, The One Thing. You'll be glad you did. Thanks for joining me for the Organized by Olive Book Club.